Hi yogis, welcome to your brand new fall yin practice. I am so excited to bring you this new practice. As you may already know, the fall is my most favorite time of year, so very happy camper right now. And yes, even in California, even though there's a palm tree behind me, I swear we get incredible fall weather. So I'm happy that it's getting crisp out and it's that cozy time of year. And speaking of cozy, I want you to get into anything comfortable, anything that works for you. Dim the lights, light a candle, whatever you need, take care of yourself. So for today's practice, since we are transitioning from summer to fall, the summer season, it's a yang style. So it's, longer daylight, more parties, maybe we're going out, cookouts, all these things where we tend to be more go, go, go in the summer because we're excited. It's bright out, who wouldn't be? And when we transition to fall, it gets cooler, it's more yin-like. So this practice, it's going to match that theme. We're gonna be cooling down a little bit, grounding ourselves, recovering a little bit from the summer. So speaking of recovery, I have my basket full of props here. I do recommend 2 blocks today. If you don't have 2, that's okay. 1 will be fine. What I definitely would then recommend is a blanket, something that you can roll up like a long Tootsie Roll, or a bolster, or just a stack of pillows. So any of those props will be helpful, but definitely at the very least 1 block. And you know what? If you don't have a block, a foam roller. If you have that too, that will be really helpful as well. So with that, yogis, let's begin. All right, so you can move your blanket out of the way for now. Unless you don't have a block or 2 blocks, then I want you to take your blanket and, as I mentioned, roll it up like a long Tootsie Roll or use your bolster. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into supported fish to start. So I want 1 block. You can adjust the setting. It can be on its lowest setting, or what I like to call the toaster oven setting. And you're gonna place that between your shoulder blades, like so. So you'll lie down. I'm gonna try toaster oven setting. We'll see. Might be too much. Okay, and then the second block is gonna go under your head, and again, play with the setting. Toaster oven setting, or lowest setting. And just let your arms come up by the side. Now my legs are crossed, but you can plant your feet into the mat, knees bent, or you can send your legs out long. And for me, I think the height on my blocks is a little too much today. So I'm gonna take it down. Take your time settling in. You have plenty of time here. Just try to position yourself in a way that's comfortable to open up your heart towards the sky, open your chest, and your head can rest comfortably. Just a quick reminder that in yin, we're not trying to force or crank anything. And we're not really targeting our muscles either. We're not just stretching. We're trying to go beyond that, getting into our joints, our fascia, tissue. My favorite saying is to fix the issues with your tissues. And in order to do that, we hold postures for length. So anywhere from 45 seconds all the way up to 6 minutes. But on average today, it will be 3 minutes. Yogis, for your last few moments here, really try to soften your body even more, getting heavy. And then very slowly, taking your time, roll to one side. Don't worry about your blocks. We'll push them out of the way. And just rest on your side here for a moment. And slowly start to lift yourself up. Okay, you can move your blocks out of the way for now. We'll be using them again semi-shortly. Take your blanket. You can fold it up to about this thickness or a little less if you'd like. I like a little extra height. And just sit on your blanket comfortably, but scooch yourself forward so you're just hanging off the edge. And then coming into butterfly, bring the soles of your feet together. And again, don't crank your heels all the way in. That's very yang-like. We want to let your heels come out a little further. All right, taking this more gently. We're going to be here for a little bit. And then yogis, just start to crawl yourself forward any amount. Letting your upper body be heavy, head and neck heavy. Maybe flip your palms face up to really soften your shoulders. And if you would like, you can stack blocks here to support your head. That's optional. Yogis, as you stay here, this is your gentle reminder to just do a body check scan. See if there's any part of your body that might be tensing up that you don't realize, and just soften. And sometimes it's helpful if you actually engage and then relax. So if your quad, let's say, is squeezing tight, I want you to squeeze it in even tighter and then feel it release. It's amazing how sometimes we start to tense up parts of our body without even realizing. So every now and then, doing that check just to see can be really helpful. All right, yogi, slowly start to lift yourself up. Draw your knees back in through center and just lean back for a moment. Gently windshield wipe your legs side to side. Okay. Coming into melting heart. If you would like a little extra cushion for your knees, then just unfold your blanket a little bit here across your mat. And for melting heart, two options. You can use blocks or no blocks. It's going to depend how this feels on your shoulders. You're going to start in a tabletop position. Your hips can be slightly back, toes tucked or untucked. In fact, I recommend untucked because it is yin after all. And then start to crawl your arms forward. It's almost like your upper body is in down dog. That's the motion, the sensation I want you to feel. And then relax your head all the way down to your mat. Now, if this really is just very simple for you, first of all, that's okay. You might be in the maintenance phase of your yin practice where you're not going to feel much. But again, depending on shoulder mobility, maybe you take a block under each palm just to add some height. And as always, yogis, remember that these options, they're options, so you don't have to take them. Stay with what feels good for your body today. Slowly, very slowly, lift yourself up and press back to child's pose. Bring your arms down by your sides, release your shoulders, or just simply, draw them a little closer by your side. You don't have to have them stretched out long. Slowly start to lift yourself up. All right, yogis, grab a block, just one, or if you have a foam roller that you're using, you can use the foam roller. We're gonna come into a pec release. It's not really a posture. This is more of a little self-massage and kind of fascial release technique. So I'll show you first so you can see what I'm gonna do. It can be slightly intense. If it's too much, then just remove the block and take open wing stretch, which I'll show you. But what you're going to do is put the block almost under your armpit. And then I want you to slide it back, just so the edge of the block, if you roll forward, hits just the front of your armpit and side of your pec. And from here, relax down onto it. Maybe right here is good enough and you just want to hang. But I encourage you to start to roll forward slightly, rolling a little back and forth. You'll feel the pressure, the edge of the block pressing into your pec muscle. Right? As you roll a little back and forth, just kind of feeling it out. Maybe there's a particular spot that feels intense, just pause there. I'm gonna hold here for a few more moments, and yogis, if that is too much for you, and then I just want you for a moment to lie on your stomach, send your right arm out, and then roll onto your right hip. All right, slowly start to press yourself up. This is one of those things, at least for me, where it's really intense to start, but then as I ease into it, it feels really nice. So you can always play with this at different times, not just in today's practice. Okay, setting up for this on the other side. It might be more intense, it might be less intense. Feel it out with your left arm over the block. Slide it back so that when you tilt forward, your pec hits right into the edge. And just rock a little back and forth here. Gently lift yourself up. Move your block out of the way. And again, just press back to child's pose. Release your arms down by your side. Slowly lift yourself up. So we just targeted the front. We're gonna get the backs of our shoulders. We're not gonna be in this posture long, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna be in a child's pose position, but I'll show you sitting upright first. Your right hand is gonna cross over and press into your left shoulder. Your right arm is gonna act as a kickstand, while your left arm wraps behind you. And you can rest it here, but I do recommend tucking it into your pant just so that you can really relax. So this is what it will look like. Coming into child's pose, crossing your right arm over, walk it over as much as you need. Nice, so it's kind of pressing into your left shoulder, and then your left arm wraps around. And you should feel a sensation in the back of your right shoulder. A lot of rights and lefts. And just relax here. Okay, lift yourself up. Give a gentle little shake, and we take that on the other side. Left hand crossing over, right arm wrapping around you. Lift yourself up. And then yogis, once again, fold your blanket back up so it gives you a little bit more height. And then just come to a comfortable seat on the blanket. You can be cross-legged. Just close your eyes here for a few moments. Float your eyes open. Coming into dragonfly, you're gonna send your legs out long and wide. And again, just like with butterfly, no need to really crank and try to open your legs as wide as they possibly can go. Find that sweet spot of sensation. You want the sensation to be no more than a 2 to 5. That's it. If it goes over 5, then you're cranking too much. Bring your legs closer together. And from here, crawl yourself forward, rounding down any amount. Again, you can use blocks. I certainly need blocks for my head here. And you could also, if you have another blanket or socks, if it becomes too uncomfortable under your heels, just put a little cushion under your heels. Begin to crawl yourself back up. One leg at a time. Bend your knees back in. Move your blocks out of the way, but keep them handy. Keep them up higher towards your head. Remove the blanket. And just lie all the way down on your back for a few moments. All right, yogis, and take one of your blocks. Keep it at its lowest setting and just bring it behind your head. And you might need to readjust here. But your occipital ridge on the back of your head, you know those two bony points that you can feel? We're targeting that area. So line the block up there. And just gently tilt your head from one side to the other, massaging along that line. Maybe kind of stay to one side, shake your head, yes, no. See how that feels. And linger over to the other side. And similar to the pec release that we did, if there's a spot that feels really kind of good or semi-intense, but it feels okay to hold, pause there for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, just rest your head through center here. Okay, remove the block from your head. Bend your knees, setting up for supported bridge. Keep the block on its lowest setting still. Lift your hips and slide it under. The block will end up around your tailbone, just slightly below. You can hang here, or if you'd like full line, front of the line body stretch, you can extend one leg and the other. But if this is too much, just bring the legs back in today. Yogis, if your legs are extended, start to bend your knees, draw your feet back in. And before lifting up and removing the block, just gently tilt your pelvis forward and back. It's a small movement. Nice. And then lift your hips up, remove the block, set it off to the side. Let your knees knock in, resting here. Then cross your right leg completely over your left. Scoot your hips over to the right, just a hair, and then let your knees fall down to the left side of your mat. If the cross leg is too much, then you can uncross, taking a regular supine twist. Start to come back through center. Uncross your right leg and take your left leg, cross it over your right. Scoot your hips to the left just a little, and then your knees fall to the right. Begin to bring your legs back through center. Uncrossing your legs and just again resting here for a moment. And then yogi, setting up for your final resting pose. Lie in any comfortable position. Maybe you use blocks to prop under your knees if that feels nice. Maybe use your blanket to cover you or as a little pillow. Take a minute to get settled. Find the position you need. And then once you're there, close your eyes. Turn your palms face up. And let yourself be heavy. Yogis, in your own way, start to bring movement back into your body. Just gently waking up. And then when you're ready, press yourself up to a seated position. Bring your hands to heart. Take a moment here. Thank yourself for carving out this time for you today. Yogis, thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you so much again for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you feel wonderful. I hope you enjoyed this yin practice. Come back to it anytime, and I will see you on your mat for your next practice.